He's honored as Thought Leader of the Year 2023 and Real Estate Person of the Year South, from co-founding Anarock to steering the ship as a CEO, residential at JILL India, and now as the REM of Bhartiya Urban. His journey is nothing short of extraordinary. I would say he's a game changer. Please join me in welcoming the dynamic Mr. Ashwinder R Singh, everybody, for you. Come on, can we hear it up for him?
Good morning, everyone. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be addressing all of you and being amongst all of you. NAR is like, actually it's a family, it's not like a family. And I've been associated with NAR for a long time. Verma ji, always a pleasure to meet you. Many congratulations to Shiva for an amazing stint. Sameer, always lovely to catch up with you. And last but not the least, my friend Amit Chopra for such a fantastic display of camaraderie. And, many congratulations on you being at the helm of affairs at NAR. A big round of applause for Amit, a very down-to-earth, very humble, and amazing personality. I used to say I've split my career into two parts, banking and real estate. And I used to say that I came from the most organized industry to the most unorganized industry because I started in real estate, that too in Delhi. But I must say that things have changed. And they are changing for better. And NAR as an association, because this is the sales arm of the industry, especially on the residential side. And I have kind of been a student on the residential side of this dynamic industry, which has given me and all of us so much. The way this event is kind of coming up, I was in Bhubaneswar, and the way I see things, I feel when I look at these things that strategy is a pretty overrated thing and execution is a very underrated thing. And compliance is hygiene. So great execution without taking too much of time. What is happening is we are going through an unprecedented period in India. The markets are doing very well. I don't know where the prices are going. When you look at Gurgaon, somebody was talking to me. I said, the only market I don't understand. उसकी प्राइसेस के बारे में वो गुड़गांव है कुछ समझ नहीं आता है कि 18,000 20,000 25,000 30,000 एंड मैं कई बार पूछता हूँ कि ये कौन लोग हैं जो 7 करोड़ 8 करोड़ 10 करोड़ का घर खरीदते हैं क्योंकि मैं तो आज तक खरीद नहीं पाया हूँ जब भी प्लान करता हूँ मेरी तो सुई 2 2.5 3 पे अड़ जाती है तो एंड द एवरेज प्राइस ऑफ अ होम सेलिंग एट अ प्री लॉन्च इन गुड़गांव बीइंग 7-8 crores, Crest being at 17-18 crores is phenomenal. So the market is going through an unprecedented time, and a lot of you have a role to play in this as channel partners. But somebody was telling me, because the markets are doing pretty well, I was talking to Sameer about the Bangalore market. Somehow the channel partner contribution has been going down, because what happens is when the market is doing well, a lot of players start thinking that we don't need partners, but that is not the case. But I feel but if you look at Delhi, if you look at NCR, obviously the contribution is at 80-90%. Having said that, this is the most important stakeholder in the real estate industry, especially on the residential side. And I'm just going to share with you some of the important aspects that I think are going to shape the... So the current scenario is pretty simple. Last year we've sold around 5 lakh homes, which is the highest ever. And the year-on-year price increase has been, at around 15 to 20%, maybe 20%. And you look at what has happened is the growth of affordable housing has been lesser than the growth of premium and luxury housing. Now, the absolute number of affordable housing has been more, but it is for the first time in 2023 that the premium and luxury houses, the larger homes, the growth rate has been much more, which is a trend which many people did not expect to see in India. The new unit launch increased by 25%. I also want to tell you that in 2023, 40% of the new launches were sold in the same year, which is the highest ever. And that number, previous highest was in 2019 when that number was 26%. So what is happening is the consumption and the supply are moving quite hand in hand, and there is no overhang, which means that this trend is going to continue for the next 3-4 years. MMR remains the biggest. If you look at MMR and Pune, 55% of the home sales are happening in Maharashtra. You have, look at the new launches, NCR and then Bangalore. These are the top 3 markets that are there in India. And I think the trend is going to continue. The southern markets kind of constitute around 34% of the home sales. This is what I was trying to share, that the overall contribution of Maharashtra, which is Mumbai and Pune, is around 55%, a very big market, and then it is south, and then it is north with around 8%, and east at 4%. This is how the new launches in 2023 have happened. The factors that are driving this bull run, now everybody is saying how long this bull run is going to continue. ये तेजी कितनी देर तक रहेगी, कितनी देर तक home sales ऐसे बिकती रहेंगी, और कितना लंबा रहेगा ये bull run, because अभी 1-2 साल से the bull run has been fantastic. So the reasons are very simple. There were very less supply before 2020. So the supply dynamics and the demand dynamics was at play. The first thing to get consumed was the ready to move in inventory सारी बिक गई. आज की डेट में आपको ready to move in fresh inventory नहीं मिलती. You know, government initiatives have been great. If you look at it, India is positioned in a very unique manner from a geopolitical perspective. That is why most of the money getting invested is in India and the Middle East, because Europe and America are slow. They have their own problems. Then there are wars. There are wars in Europe. There have been other issues. And the domestic economy of India has started coming to play, which is the biggest strength of this country. We are now number 1 in terms of population, and now population has become a strength for this country because we are the youngest population in the world, and the youngest population also means that this is the population that is going to earn the maximum. We have a long-term stability, the government is stable, and overall economic growth is at around 7 to 8%, and this will remain, and that is why we will see that this bull run, I don't know, people say 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, it is anybody's guess. We don't know if something inadvertent happens. But for the next 2-3 years, I see this momentum in home sales to continue. And if home sales does well, it is 10% of the Indian GDP. The sector is 10% of the Indian GDP. It is the second most highest employer in India, which means all other ancillary industries will do well. And this is a good indicator of an economy that we might keep on growing at 7 to 8%. We might even become higher because China for 15 years consecutively grew on double digits. And that is what is the final expectation if everything goes well. But, you know, nobody is talking about challenges right now. It is very important that, you know, there is an old saying in the army that, you know, prepare for war when in peace. And all your focus right now also has to be that right now everything is great. What happens when the markets go down? And how do we prepare ourselves as smart, effective channel partners, distribution arm of the industry? But currently the challenges are that adoption of technology is still very slow. हम लोगों को थोड़ी टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर ज़्यादा फोकस करना चाहिए. We have to start adopting more of technology, and that is one of the bane of our sectors. And there is a increased cost of construction. The land prices have gone very high. The average land price in Bangalore today is 40 crores an acre, which used to be around 1 crore an acre 12 years back. जो चीज़ 1 करोड़ रुपए की थी पर एकड़, आज वो 40 करोड़ रुपया पर एकड़ है. which is not a great thing because the price of land going up finally means that the capital values are increasing. And the capital value of homes increasing beyond a point, if घर की कीमत एक थ्रेशोल्ड तक जाएगी, उसके बाद जो एंड यूजर है उसको खरीदना बंद कर देगा. So it is very important that we ensure that the prices in some way or the other don't keep on going north, because it is not good for the overall sales momentum and revenue momentum of our industry. There is a huge dependency on physical labor. We all know the tier 2, tier 3 migrants are reducing, and that is why technology needs to be adopted both in terms of construction as well as monitoring, so that we are able to handle this challenge, which is going to grow with every passing year, and so on and so forth. But these are few things that all of us should be very careful about. So there is a changing consumer behavior. The home buyer's behavior is also changing. So what is it that the home buyer is looking at? Home buyer is looking at, now the time has come. Earlier they used to say that nobody buys without a site visit. But if you are a reputed developer, and if you are a reputed channel partner, there are tools that people are happy looking at and taking a call to buy a home, whether it is in India, whether it is consumers in a different city, somebody in Bangalore wanting to buy something in Gurgaon, somebody in Mumbai wanting to buy something in Hyderabad. Our NRI investors all are now looking at platforms where they can search, they can do virtual tours and even do transactions. And if our technology plays a role, today in Singapore and Dubai, you don't, when you go to transfer a property, it is like going and having a cup of tea. By the time you complete your cup of tea, you don't even meet the buyer, doesn't meet the seller, seller doesn't meet the buyer. And India, because of the way we are in terms of technology, we will reach a place where we will have 80% role of technology in the next 10 years. And it is important that we start preparing ourselves for that. Let us not think that site visits will keep on happening, keep on happening. I'm telling you, there is going to be a time when 5 out of 10 clients will buy a property of a reputed developer without doing a site visit, but looking at it virtually and through digital tools. Flexible payment plans have become very important, and that is what the financials are going to do. Health and wellness amenities are extremely becoming critical for home buyers. And last but not the least, green and sustainable homes. Earlier it was fashion to talk about it. Now people are thinking about it. In 5 to 10 years, people will start paying for it, because that is going to directly impact your health. Today, commercial real estate focuses on a lot of sustainable buildings and green buildings, because the occupiers don't buy a building if it is not sustainable. And this is something, again, that we should all focus on. So how to create a resilient real estate? Resilient real estate is that right now we are in a bull run. What happens when the bull run starts going down? Can we prepare right now to ensure that even when the markets are slowing down, your revenues are not going down, your number of sales in a month are not going down, the number of units selling are not going down, the overhang is not increasing, because it is a huge, huge, huge market. And for that, it is very important. As we spoke, this is an event, a conclave dedicated to warehousing. All the real estate other than residential are doing very well, and it is very good for the residential real estate that warehousing, industrial, hospitality, retail keeps on doing well, because all these 4 or 5 pillars are doing extremely well right now, and it is important that they keep on contributing. Residential real estate still remains more than 80% of total Indian real estate. There is a new study that says that the Indian rich own 50% of their wealth in real estate, another 15% in gold, only 5% in equity, and that trend is not going to change. So you are in a business that you can build legacy, you can build great revenues, you can build great organizations which are sustainable both in terms of revenue and profit. Focus on things so that fundamentally your approach is very strong. It is not just dependent on the buoyancy of the market. Sustainable developments are going to be very important if we want the real estate market to be resilient. Financial inclusion from a segment that can afford to buy a home, you still have only 25% ownership, so there is a huge market. And what is going to happen? देखिए अब आपको घर किराए पे नहीं मिलेगा. बैंगलोर के अंदर 60 से 8% का रेंटल यील्ड है भारतीय सिटी में जहाँ से मैं आया हूँ. एक्चुअली अगर किसी ने 3-4 साल पहले घर खरीदा था, द रेंटल यील्ड इज 10%. India's rental yield today in residential, net of tax adjusted, is the highest in the world. If you want to take a home on rent in Bangalore, you have to search for minimum 60 days. The way things are moving and the way the shared economy of millennials, Gen Zs and everybody want to buy a home, it is very clear that if you don't have a home in the next 4 or 5 years, it will become very difficult, it will become unaffordable. Rents are going to become, completely unaffordable, and that is where things like co-living are going to come into play. So we are going through a cusp where we will see developments happening where developers are going to build residential properties only for leasing because the rental yields are now operating in a manner. And if you get regulations where the taxation is better for these kind of products, the whole dynamics of the industry is going to change. Not much, last but not the least, data is the new oil. Everyone should take data-driven decisions based on insights that data is giving. If we continue to do that, we are in one of the best industries. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Once again, my congratulations to NAR for this wonderful event. It is always an honor to come here and be part of this event and talk to all of you. Thank you, Amitji, once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ashwinder. I request you to stay back, please. Well, I think Mr. Ashwinder is here. Thank you for your valuable insights. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to shoot some questions to our speaker on this stage. Let's have 2-3 questions. If you have any, you can raise your hand and we'll send the mic to you. If you have questions, just raise your hand, please. Really? We have no questions? Okay, we have one question there. One person. Can we please send the mic that side?
Hello, Ashwinder ji. This is Tarun Gera. We know each other.
Yeah. Hi, Tarun.
My question, like you said, that the land prices in Gurgaon now cross 40 crore per acre. Do you think this is going to be viable for a long term?
See, viability is now people have stopped buying land. Developers are doing JDAs. For a developer to do any development which does not give a margin of 20% or more, it doesn't make sense. And that is why capital values are going. Right now, the margins for certain developers are also 30-35%. However, the price of land at 40 crores, I was talking about Bangalore, but I'm sure it would be similar in Gurgaon, is something which is not feasible. And the quality of land parcels that you are getting are now far away from the towns, and that is where the development is happening. As I said, capital value increase, घर की कीमत अगर बढ़ती जाएगी, it is not good for the industry. आप 15,000 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट, 18,000 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट पे आज बेच रहे हैं, आप इसी को 25,000 कर देंगे, it will not be a fair market value. पहली बात तो मुझे पता नहीं गुड़गांव में खरीदता कौन है, वो रहेगा भी कि नहीं. मुझे ये भी नहीं पता कि जो खरीद रहा है वो एक्चुअल बुकिंग है कि नहीं है. 10% दे रहा है, एग्रीमेंट हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. अगर एग्रीमेंट हो रहा है बहुत अच्छी बात है, नहीं हो रहा है तो कहीं ना कहीं जाकर गुड़गांव is again reaching a place which is speculative. However, beyond a point, as you have rightly said, prices of land have to get curtailed for the health of the real estate industry. Let's see how it goes, because if the contribution of NRIs keeps on increasing or investors keeps on increasing, we don't know where it goes. So, but that's my perspective.
Thank you.
May I?
Yeah, sure.
Sam Chopra, Ashwinder.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. 2 questions. One, just curious, when are you guys joining NAR India?
Sorry?
When are you guys joining NAR India?
Oh, I'm
As
already
members.
joined in spirit and soul.
Okay, but membership,
Sure.
looking forward to it.
Sure, sure.
The other is,
Hello.
don't you feel as we are progressing, as the prices keep going up, and you mentioned that briefly, as the price keeps going up and all of us, or at least the tier 2, tier 3 individuals, so people who are white-collared, middle income group, they are not able to buy those homes rightfully. They're not able to rent those homes. So do you feel that the city core is going to keep expanding to such a level that it goes maybe, and with the trains, etc., metros coming up, that they'll go beyond 100 kilometers, etc., and people will actually drive or ride to work?
Sam, very good question. I want to tell one thing, एक चीज़ बताना चाहता हूँ. In India, the price of, the quality of infrastructure and prices of real estate are inversely related. Any city that has poor infrastructure, the price of real estate is high. Any city that has good infrastructure, the price of real estate is low. Hyderabad has very good real estate infrastructure. The prices have not gone up that much. Mumbai, Bangalore have a relatively poorer infrastructure. The prices have gone up. So you're absolutely right. Things are going to become like NCR. Things are going to become like Mumbai, Pune. In 5 years, there's not going to be any difference between Mumbai and Pune. And with good infrastructure, the way infrastructure is improving in this country, with trains, with roadways, with great road connectivity, you will see that we will become a reflection of a developed economy where people stay in suburbs and work in the CBD. America, the entire USA, stays in the suburb and goes to the city to work. And on holidays, they are only enjoying the suburb. So that is a sign of a developed economy where people stay far away from CBDs, people stay far away from towns. The towns become larger and larger, unlike Mumbai, because it is physically it is a very different city. So very good question. This is what is going to happen over a period of time, and that is how prices will also get curtailed. Quality of life will also improve. Obviously, suburbs need to have a good school, it needs to have a good retail, and it needs to have a good hospital. These three things are very important.
This is the hub and spoke
Good morning,
concept,
Mr. Singh.
essentially. All the
This is David John here. I'm on your right side. Oh, sorry, on your left side. Left or right for you? Here. I'm waving my hands.
Sir,
Here.
hello.
Yeah.
Pramod Vyas here. My question is, what is the future of the co-living? What is the future of co-living in India? Because most of the metro cities are there, but do you think that in future you will advise to the developer to build a more co-living space?
See, data is very important. And you need to know, real estate is a micro market driven business. It is neither a city business, neither it is a state business, neither it is a country business. If you are good in real estate, you have to understand the micro market. But co-living is the future. आपको घर मिलना ही नहीं वाला रेंट पर. मुंबई में, बैंगलोर में आपको घर रेंट पर मिलने ही नहीं वाला. अगर आप 15, 20, 25 हज़ार रुपया देने वाले लोग हैं, to a middle class income family to get a home on rent is going to become near than impossible within the, interiors of a city. So co-living is going to be the future because there are going to be co-livings for small families. Forget about co-livings for bachelors and girls who stay alone. So over the next 10 years, there's going to be a tectonic shift in the way real estate is looked at, especially on the residential side. Co-living and co-work are going to be the future. What has happened in co-working finally? Because people don't want long fixed costs. So co-living is a area where if developers focus on it, if they are having a good financial closure, because co-living becomes like commercial real estate. It is not about building and selling. It is about building and leasing most of the time. So you have to have a hat where you understand commercial real estate. You borrow, you build, and you earn rental yields.
Sir, this is Naveen John here. I'm waving my hands here. I have two questions to you. I'm from Cochin and Bangalore. First one, what is your take on the elderly living?
Sorry?
Your take on the elderly living.
Elderly
Senior
living.
citizen living.
Senior citizen living. So senior citizen living again is going to be a big boom. ये जो हमारे दिमाग में था कि हमारे माँ बाप अलग नहीं रहने चाहिए, उनके साथ रहना चाहिए, लोग क्या कहेंगे, दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, ये खत्म हो गया है हिंदुस्तान के अंदर. Indians have evolved. The millennials and the young people are very smart. I learn more from them than what they learn from us. The problem is we are not able to digest that the younger generation is smarter than us. And it is very good for the older generation to be in these old age homes. We should not call it old age homes. We should not call it senior living. We can call it whatever we want to. But they are happier there. They have a good community. Their health is taken care of. These are sustainable buildings. And in the next 4 or 5 years, like co-living, senior living has tremendous potential. However, senior living has to be again like an integrated township kind of a concept. So wherever you will see a lot of integrated townships coming up in India, and senior living will become a part of that integrated township in the next 8 to 10 years. So there is a huge opportunity, but there is a lot of planning that is required. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That is where real estate needs to become far more organized, especially on the residential side.
Sir, the next question is, it applies to most of the people out here. How does the markets like Dubai, UK, US, people who are investing the money for residential in those countries which are opening up, like the Middle East, many of the countries have opened up. They are also given limited, timeline, maybe 10-year visa, 15-year visa. How does this actually impact the residential purchase of the NRIs, especially like the state of Kerala? Kerala, almost around 60% of the purchase are happening by NRIs. It's one of the largest consumer state also. So since the majority of the money is actually coming from abroad, and for the past few months we have basically seen that there is a sluggishness in terms of the investments from the NRI happening in Kerala. Is there the same thing which is going to continue, or is this you being handling multiple cities? Can you just give some thoughts and ideas on this? How is this actually going to be in future? And also with respect to the 20% TDS, if you are investing outside India, how does that actually impact the buyers?
बड़ा लंबा क्वेश्चन था आपका. I'm just trying to remember everything that you said, but let me tell you, investments that happen in UAE and a little bit that happens in US and UK are by people who are the rich Indians. And India is not India. India is Bharat. So वो जितनी investments होनी थी हो गई हैं. The prices in UAE are crazy. I don't understand that market. I don't actually, I have my own views on that market. The market is attracting money the way Switzerland attracted cash. So Switzerland used to attract cash of the rich people. Now the rich people are moving their cash to UAE. Most of the money now is coming from China and Russia. Indians remain the biggest pie of investors with 33%. That is going to go down because the pricing is completely out of whack. And India, if this GDP growth becomes double digit for the next 5 years, this is a far more stable economy. You don't know. UAE is like Bitcoin. Today, Bitcoin is at 50 lakh a Bitcoin. 2 years back, it was 25 lakhs. You don't know what is going to happen. Obviously, the grading of UAE has gone up. Now, UAE has been taken away from the grey list yesterday only from as far as financial discipline is concerned. But Indian market is not dependent on NRIs. I want to say that NRI is like that, the cream on the cake. Actually, it is a good thing to say when you are giving bhashan and when you are giving keynotes that we have a lot of NRIs investing. If I talk as a developer, I don't even have 1 or 2% NRIs also coming and buying. Whether they buy, they don't buy, I don't care. I'm more bothered about people living in Bangalore first buying Bangalore. I'm not even looking at Mumbai and NCR people to come and buy in Bangalore. Our strength is our population, our strength is our domestic economy. So we should not even pay too much of attention to what is happening abroad because our markets are doing well, and now the new tier 2 cities like Cochin, Ahmedabad, Indore, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Lucknow, Mysore, Bangalore, the way they are coming up, there is too much of action that is going to be there, and we have enough and more Indians who have to buy a home. So we should only focus, Arjun Bankar, we should focus on what is happening in our core micro markets and our cities. There is enough and more home buyers in India.
Right. I'm so sorry I would have to barge in as we're running a little late from our schedule. Thank you so much for all your questions. At first we didn't have any, but I'm surprised that we had a lot of questions. Thank you so much. I would like you to stay back as we want to honor you with a memento. And for that I would like to call Mr. Samir Arora, immediate past president, NAR India. Everybody, can we please give a massive round of applause for sir here?
Whether it was Samir from Delivery, or whether it's my dear friend and somebody whom I admire, Ashwinder ji from my hometown, Bangalore, all they are trying to convey to this lovable community of 700 plus people sitting here is, खाली सोच के नहीं मिलते तमन्नाओं के शहर, मंजिल पाने के लिए चलना भी ज़रूरी है. That's where we are marching on.
Right, thank you everybody. Can we please make some noise? Let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashwinder, for joining us today.